Guys, right, so finally the time has come. Wretch, 32 or 32, has started talking. He's explained somewhat of the situation of him stealing, allegedly, Scorcher's baby mother from Scorcher.
Scorcher, all of that stuff. Are you ever going to talk about it? Or do you feel... Because in the song you kind of...
Yeah, do you know what it is? It's like some things in life, to people, like just because something's entertaining doesn't mean it's entertainment.
Right, okay.
Like it's real. You know, when people say it's big people business. Like, it's real people's business, you get what I'm saying? But within that, I guess all I will say on the topic is like, no one took no one's partner when no one was in jail or anything like that. Like, not that the situation is ideal, but I guess in the court of the body, sometimes the heart overrules the head.
Okay, got you.
And I think, I do my thing, my coach figure.
Your friend.
The heart overrules the head, and it's like you won't understand that until it's your heart that's beating for something or for someone.
But he's finally spoken to our besties, Easy Mills, about it a little bit in kind of coded language. But at least we know that him and the girl are still together and it's 10 years on.
Oh.
Is it ever okay? Does love conquer all? That your brethren's girl, not only girl, baby mother, like you fancy her and you get with her. Is that ever okay?
Not really. Not really. It's not really.
I think baby mother, I think parent is a bit different to someone you dated.
Okay.
Parent or ex-fiance, those things are a little bit different. However, what sort of brethrens were Wretch and Scorcher before? Were they just industry brethrens, or were they actually bona fide? Would they call each other? Would they par? Would they go raving?
They were in a crew. The two of them and Gets.
And
Do you know the other person? And another person.
In the crew,
definitely,
you could be in a crew, right?
Yeah.
But were they brethrens? Did they par outside? You know, what was their level of friendship?
doesn't matter though.
I'm just saying.
I'm just throwing it back.
I think maybe if you're not tight with somebody, you might not see them. You might not feel anything about it. But so if you lot, let's say
you're dating someone.
Yeah.
You're dating someone, and everybody knows you're dating someone. Yeah, and then you go to prison.
What did you do?
And then
a bank robbery.
Yeah, you done a bank robbery.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Accurate. And then AK's like, oh, actually, I like that guy, you know.
Yeah, no, because
I'm gonna start dating.
That's my point.
Do you know what I mean?
So I did it.
No, you can't do it either.
Why? So I did it.
No, neither you two can't do it.
But
no.
Why not? But it's the same dynamic.
It's not.
Why? Okay, for the purposes of the example.
I'm saying, how do they part? Like, we've been away, like, we do things. It's not
they definitely did Iron Apple together.
Yeah.
They definitely
They worked together intensely, and everybody knew that they were brethren, and they were a foursome.
Did you hear me say at the beginning of this that I said no? You heard me say that. You're not coming for me.
No,
it's
not
okay.
coming for you. Not coming for you.
I literally
not
said
no. Yes.
I don't think so.
For the people.
Not baby mother or fiancée.
Yeah.
I literally said that.
It's not you personally.
So it's
for
never
the purposes
okay.
of the debate.
The purposes of the debate, I think it's icky, but it depends how they viewed each other. Like, if for Wretch, that's not my doc. If it's just someone, then maybe he'd be like, you know, whatever. He said love conquers all, or some shit like that, didn't he?
He said a poem. He said a poem.
He did
what was
say
the
a poem.
poem? It was a poem.
Yeah.
What was the poem?
He said, oh,
Forthwith and
it?
forthwith.
It was like the heart rules over the head sometimes. Something
Or the
like
body.
that.
Or
What the
something
body
like,
over the gossip of the nonsense.
Just like
Don't
he
talk
tried to
about
be
me.
Does he have
poetic.
kids with her now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he does have kids with her now.
Yeah, but it's still grimy. It's so grimy.
I think
it's grimy.
I
Is he a
have.
snake then?
Yes, 100%.
That's what Scorcher called
But
him.
Scorcher did come out and say, though, that man like that can't take no gyal from me. Like, he made a statement basically
He did say
saying
that.
But that can
he
mean
never
all
took my
sorts
gyal.
of things.
Well, you see, how I feel
Okay.
about the thing is I think there's situations and layers and nuance. And what I appreciate is that they are still together. And it's been 10 years. and rumors on the streets is that the woman and Scorcher weren't together when it actually transpired. I've also heard rumors that he was like, yo, look out for her whilst I'm away. I don't know what's true and what's what. I don't know what's true and what's what. I don't know what's true. But also, and I also heard that possibly their relationship wasn't the greatest. And make of that what you will. So I think there's nuances to it. And I think because of the rules of society, there's things that bind us from doing things, but I don't think it's always realistic to say, because I think there was someone on TikTok was like, don't let yourself get into it. And I get, you have to have some self-control and you can withdraw yourself from the situation, but not knowing the actual full dynamic. And as you said, what was really their relationship for real, because it could be, there's pictures, I've said it before, I've got pictures of people that will think that that's your brony, and then behind the scenes is a crock of shit, and we no longer talk. So there's those type of dynamics where you don't really know what the deal is. And then this thing happens, he goes away, or whatever the dynamic is, these two connect. And what I don't know, or we don't know, because of the poem, we don't know, the lack of transparency about what happened. We don't know is actually there was like, we're just cool. And then one day it's like, oh my God, there's more than just coolness. And then what do you do in that situation? She's no longer with that person, because that's what they're saying. And there's an attraction there. What are you supposed to do in that respect? Because they're no longer, I think it's different if you're still parring and you're still brethrens, and that's another thing. You can't do that. That one is just messy. But there's a distance between their relationship. Scorcher and Wretch are no longer friends, no longer in it with each other, and this thing transpires between these two people, two grown adults. So then I'm kind of like, this kind of rule of thumb, I get it.
Hang on. Are you giving him license that they weren't friends?
No,
They added that in, and we don't know that they weren't
But they're not friends because of this.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
exactly. No,
situation.
but I thought fine.
They
okay.
were in a crew, right?
Yeah.
Longer than 10 years ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
before
So
10 years, and he went away, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So he's been with this chick for 10 years.
Yeah.
They were in the crew
Before
longer than
that.
10 years ago.
Yes.
So it's not the same period of time.
I don't think
It's
it
not
is
like
the
they're
same,
in
yeah.
the crew.
No,
and
I'm not
whilst
saying-
he's in the crew, Scorcher goes to jail, and then he starts chatting to his gal.
No, that's
But that's one of the storylines.
Were
Yeah.
they in the crew still?
Yes.
Yes.
That's one of the storylines.
That is the
crew
alleged
broke up.
Yes,
because of
this.
this
What's
thing.
happened?
Okay, I didn't know
yeah.
that part.
It didn't break up before.
No.
And then
No.
Scorcher went to
I
jail.
actually thought...
Allegedly.
I thought it was like they were in a crew.
Okay, I mixed
They
broke
kind of went
up.
about the business.
Scorcher went to jail.
Yeah.
And then they met. That's what I'm saying. Was it 10 years ago?
And to be fair, if
I
it's...
feel like Wretch was out longer than 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
I think that 10 years is a bit shaky as well. As they're
the
like, oh,
relationship-
we've been together. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's shaky.
So
and I think that
longer.
might be done for PR purposes,
Yeah.
personally.
Must be longer than 10 years.
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, I think it's hella messy. I think that Wretch 2 has been seen as our industry as this conscious rapper guy. Do you know what I mean? That has this, maybe like a little bit more elevated than everybody else, I think, in the game. So he's been afforded this kind of grace, yeah? When what he done was if what the streets are saying is true, it's out of order. That's your brethren. Your brethren's away and you're messing with his girl. That's wild behaviour. People get done stuff for that. Do you know what I mean? So like, this wild, it's risky. I do not advise it. Don't do that.
I feel like, it's that's the advice. But on the flip side... but they're still together and they've created life together. So I think it's...
So does she and Scorcher.
Yeah, but that was then, and this is now. So I do think, but there's something in, because I think there's something about speaking on a relation that's still existing, still going strong, they're still together, and there's life that they've created. So then to say that's, but I don't like necessarily that. And beyond this, I'm more incensed with the people in the comments who got all this big man talk, oh yeah, can't do that, all the moles and all the things, boys. But then you will co-sign a man mashing up a woman, you will co-sign your boy doing all sorts of dirty stuff, but I'm not going to fuck his ex though, but I will co-sign him doing all sorts of nefarious things to
hear what
women.
you're saying.
So I think there's an element of hypocrisy, and there's also that ownership sexist thing that, that's my babe mother, so she's marked for death for life now because then no one around can ever touch her because...
Not your friend.
I get it, but there's territorial stuff that I don't like.
I think that's for everyone's protection personally. But then also as well, I do like the fact that they are holding him accountable. Like, do you know what I mean? Usually what happens in these situations is the girl is the one that's you know, kind of led out to dry and attacked and everything like that. But they're holding the right person accountable in this case. And I think that is progress.
She still
Yes.
has I disagree on that. I actually think she was a singer out here for a minute. I actually used to wonder like what happened to her, but maybe this is why she went underground. She has to hold a little bit of that responsibility the same as Wretch, because you had a child with this dude and then you went with the brethren. Like, it's not all on Wretch on this one. It's the pair of them. I do think that love can overcome all. If that is your destiny, like that is your soulmate, I don't think a brethren should stand in the way of that.
So you're saying,
the thing
don't
is,
let my
though-
boyfriend get in the way of my husband?
Absolutely.
That part.
Wow.
But I do think...
And it wasn't her boyfriend as well. It was
Yeah.
Okay, I know, no, I'm
at
just
that
saying.
point, it's not her boyfriend,
effect.
but they
I do have
definitely are
an agreement in
brethrens.
there. I
There's
have-
brethrens. You got to hold a little L as well. And I think that Wretch has held lots of L's. I think his career could have been somewhere else if he hadn't have done this.
He kind of went
So
right as
I
well
feel
for a
like
bit.
maybe this
I
is the
don't think
thing.
so. I don't think this affected him
It wasn't known in that way for it to affect his job.
Okay, go and look at his YouTube numbers and then come back and talk about it.
Is that not-
Because
no.
his numbers are very low and Wretch was flying, and within the streets he was getting it for years from being
Okay.
with her.
I don't think that's
Definitely,
the direct
he went down and
result of
I didn't really...
I
okay.
do. I concur.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Wretch's trajectory, and this is not to say that he's not a brilliant artist and well respected and all those things. No one's saying that. But if you look at what he was doing when he was at his peak and where he is now, like, he's had a massive gap. Now, who knows if that gap was because he wanted to be family man and do what he was doing, or if it was also because of he was sick of the gossip and
noise.
the talking and all of that. I do agree with you as well, though, when it comes to if someone's still together. My thing is always like, I prefer you to at least stay together and have kids.
And rather than just fuck about.
Like live life and go. Rather than it's just like a, flash in the pan, kind of like bang.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm like, fair cop, gov. It's not nice, it's messy, and it's inadvisable. But there's also, it's just, I've never been in that situation, thank God. But it's like, what do you do when you meet someone and it is like that? And obviously there's boundaries because it's not really know
Control your urges,
Fancied
man.
her at the same time.
and it could have been that.
And then
I
she
get it,
just
it's
went with
messy.
Scorcher first, and Scorcher was the wrong guy. And then she looked at Wretch and was like, "Oh, he's a better man. I should have just picked him." But then I went with the brethren, and then Wretch was also
Look at
like,
you,
"Oh,
Disney.
I've
Do you know
always
what I
loved
mean?
It's
her."
real though.
And then
That
they
could
was
happen
like,
though.
actually,
It's not like it doesn't happen.
We've got
course
to,
it does, yeah.
we've just got to do it. We've got to be together. Like, this is our destiny. Like, we have done this 5 lifetimes
yeah.
before. We found each other again.
Oh,
and
my
it
God.
happens.
I
So-
do know some people that have kind of done. Not so much.
We have
They've
a
done a similar
responsibility to people.
And
No,
they're
but
together.
I think we're saying very clearly this is messy and it's ill-advisable because society frowns upon it. And then what my next advice is, if you really can't, you better stay together forever and make that
It's
shit
gotta be
work.
real.
You can't just, and it's definitely, you can't just bang a person's person. You can't do that. Don't treat your both self so disrespectfully. But if it's that thing, and I'm not going to say I'm going to be like, yeah, that's okay, go ahead. But if this is the thing, you've got to make it work and you've got to last forever. You better lock in forever and treat each other with respect. Can't be cheating and then treating the one that you stole. You can't do that.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah, it's got to be a real.
It's got to be real. It's interesting though.
But Scorcher talking about like, you can't steal my girl. Why do you hate him still then?
Did he say that?
It's still his baby mother, isn't it?
And that's what I don't
I
like.
think he called
Yeah,
him
you
a
can't order.
snake.
Yeah, he definitely said he was a
He said
snake.
something
Yeah,
on
he's
the,
a snake. I mean, that's
the
snake
socials.
behavior. So I don't
did
know
say
what I
something
need
on
to
the
Okay,
say.
what makes
Yeah,
it-
he did. Yeah, he said it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. What makes it snake? Because a conversation I had prior was like, yeah, he was waiting in the cut. Like, what was the snake behavior?
Waiting in the car.
Wait, just waiting in the cut.
behavior. It's not behavior. If you
prison.
go round.
And then you're moving to my man.
No, but is
That's
it moving or is it
wild.
like
Snake
oh my
behavior.
No, it
god?
doesn't matter.
Is when you
control yourself.
Go round.
Okay, so what
and
should he have done?
they-
Waited for him to come out and then say, "I want to
Snake
take your
behavior
ex's
is
hand in
going
marriage."
around there and chatting to her and getting yourself involved.
Being around my kids.
That part is snake behavior.
Okay. Wow.
Because what are you doing?
But is
Like,
that how it happened? We don't even know if that's how it
Then
happened.
how did it happen?
I don't know.
And they went out and they got drunk and she fell on his dick.
No, not
Wretch
even that.
says
But that's my point.
Wretch
So whatever it is,
confirms,
it's
I didn't
snake
steal
behaviour.
anybody when somebody
said
was
that.
in
They probably
prison.
weren't
That's what
together.
he
He
said.
said that.
That's what he said, but we're taking it as that what he's saying is the truth, right?
I'd like,
Scorcher has said the same thing.
yeah.
That
so
he
then-
wasn't in prison.
Scorcher said that man like him can't steal no girl from me.
No, those are two different things. It's not the same thing.
That's the same thing.
It's
He's
the
like-
same thing.
Cause
No,
and
but
then-
we can't deduce the truth from those things.
Why
I don't
not?
know.
we can only give
He's
what's
saying that Wretch
presented.
couldn't steal my chick.
Yeah.
And Wretch is with the chick.
Yeah.
So if he didn't steal the chick, that means the chick was not his to steal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I
So
was
they're
saying,
not
but it's
together.
okay.
Oh.
Right, so they weren't together. So you didn't steal my chick.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Factual.
Man can't steal my
and
chick.
he's saying he weren't in prison.
Exactly.
But when he was in prison, I do believe he was doing a wire thing, like Stringer Bell was going over to the other girl's house and was banging. Like, so maybe they weren't official, but while he was away, he was getting in there with Sadie.
I don't
Use
know
that
if
time.
that's true.
I don't know.
I think it was
I think
like
that's what
quiet
the
time.
streets are saying.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know if
I
that's
feel
true.
like back in the day, that is what we understood to be true. But
I don't know that
I
part.
cannot.
But they may not have been
cannot confirm.
official in the prison years. It may have been official
Exactly.
after
It
that.
might
And
be
why
like-
he
also-
says 10 years.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Did you see
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
But
And it's just
also-
like, why are you watching her anyway?
But-
like,
Yeah,
I
but they may
I
have
think
seen
that's
her at the same
wild.
time and they-
it doesn't
they
matter.
liked her.
What is wrong with this video?
And it was like,
Disney.
The same girl. We're in love with the same girl. That's basically
That happens though.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
I don't know.
I'm not in that bubble. I'm just not.
No,
yeah.
it's
saw
messy
her
and
at
it's
the same time.
it is
But that
busy.
can happen, man. But when,
No, it
like
can, but
it can.
Okay. Yes. In
they-
theory, yes, it can
Sometimes
happen.
shit happens, man.
The likelihood of it happening.
Sometimes it happens.
And sometimes the wrong guy got the
saw her
wrong
at
chick,
Lord
and
of
then
the
they
Mic.
realised that was the wrong move. You're supposed to be the one.
Yeah.
That shit can happen. And that's what I'm going to say. At least still together, and you create a
Just
beautiful
like, I
life.
don't know. Not to,
It's not worth the headache.
That's
Depending on
the only
anyone's
thing that
relationship,
deduces the fuckeries of this is that they're together
Yeah.
and they've been together for 10 years. But are they married?
But that doesn't
don't
mean.
know.
I mean, like, I get it, and I know that makes everyone feel comfortable and everything like that. But length of time does not mean good relationship.
Okay, so I'm in a
Do you know what I
relationship.
mean? It really
so,
doesn't.
Okay, so I'm in a bad relationship, man. It's really, really bad. Like, you're all like, damn bad.
Mm-hmm.
You're all like, can you leave this motherfucker? Can you
I
just
was like,
leave
the last
him?
time I was like, I'll run him over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Run him over.
That one, yeah.
That one. So finally jogged him on. But then
Don't try it. Oh, God.
Then his brethren.
there's a friend that all this time, and I'm like, do you know
You've got
what?
better friends.
Okay, now
I'm just saying I would co-sign it if that did happen.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like friends haven't been friends and friends. Like I've dated friends, so
Have you?
you know I have.
I'm acting for the point.
I didn't know.
But it was like I
Straight
said,
out.
it was I'm not gonna go too deep because it's so bait. But it's the level of my relationship with both of those people. Do you know what I mean?
And were they both cool with it?
I mean, fuck, because neither of them were my boyfriend. So that's up to you.
But were they cool with it though?
Afterwards, they were not. But who gives a fuck?
Okay,
Like,
I'm just saying this is the same situation.
And do you know what?
But
What-
it's, no, but it's part of that ownership thing as well.
That's
It's
what-
like
that's
if I've
the
dated
part.
you fucking 10 years ago,
that part.
why are you vexed about something that's happening today? When me and you didn't even date, like it wasn't even that
Ownership.
deep. But because you want to be big bollocks and have some sort of ownership, you're upset. Don't be upset.
Yeah, I
If
don't
it
like
was
that.
deep. Me and you would have been in the ting properly.
That's
We're
the
not
thing.
in the ting properly.
It's just ego, male
Yeah.
fucking pride and ego.
It's
the
one
brethren.
upmanship.
So
No,
were
I
they
ha-
not
I have
friends
that.
anymore after because of the?
No, that's not it.
Oh, okay.
It's not that.
So they just.
no, it wasn't
alright,
because of me. They just didn't like the situation. But well, I say they. The first one didn't like the situation.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, no, I have
second
that.
one
I
didn't
think I
give a
have that male ego trait where no, if you do not date my friends,